I look at society, one of my academic pursuits was social psychology. And I look at everything as a series of games. And when I say that, I don't mean that they're trivial. I mean that they are a rules based system with outcomes and participants that are playing roles. What are the risks and rewards and all that sort of stuff. So, I'm using game in the academic sense. And I wonder sometimes if the utility of psychedelics is to allow us to recognize the game. I feel like there are people that either haven't studied this or haven't had the interest or haven't had the opportunity to be exposed to this, where they realize that there is an opportunity to just close the game and put it back in the box and then pick a different game. They feel like they are trapped within Monopoly or whatever game that they're doing.
Mm,
And I feel like we're not necessarily born with this sense of immersion inside of these systems, but when we get too fixated on them, we end up only looking out for ourselves as players in a competitive environment. We're not looking at ourselves holistically. And if we go way, way, way back to those early experiments and things with LSD, like the old CIA films, right, where they would record people and they would dose them, and you'd watch what they're doing, and they would. There was this one that I really love where it's she's like a housewife and she's talking about like, oh, I can see all of the energy in the air and the molecules, and I just feel like we're all just in here together. We're all connected, and you know that really, I think that reaction that people were having to psychedelics of recognizing another order of thinking outside of the game from which many
mhm.
powerful systems and people were benefiting, that became a demonization campaign. And now that we're living in an era where these benefits that you're talking about are being more widely recognized, there's pushes to have legalized substances like psilocybin and things like that, especially here on the West Coast, where we're changing laws and opening up to these legal frameworks where that's more accessible. Do you believe that that's making headway? The idea that we can break the ego, the idea that providing people with these tools is a benefit to society, whereas over the past half century, there's been an active campaign to say, no, this is absolutely destructive to society.
Right. Well, it's all about programming, and we've been programmed in a certain kind of way. Like war is inevitable. We were always going to kill each other. It's overcoming that program. That's why in the 60s, people threw rocks at us. They demonized us. They called us, what was it? Love it or leave it. You know, you couldn't just love your country and criticize it when you think it's doing wrong. It's love it or leave it. It's black and white. You're nothing. What you're saying is bad. You're anti-American. I mean, and they saw the power of seeing through the matrix with psychedelics, and it terrified them that people could think of them for themselves. And that's why they were made illegal. Nobody's ever died on a psychedelic in the history of the world. Nobody's ever. Let's look at alcohol. Let's look at heroin. Let's look at fentanyl. Let's look at cocaine. Let's look at pills. What other drug could claim what psychedelics do as far as safety? Nobody's ever been addicted to a psychedelic in the history of the world. Nobody, not a human being. They made it sound like we were going to jump off a roof or walk into the ocean and never come back. Nobody's ever been. In fact, there's very few people that have ever been hurt on psychedelics. It happens. They would have gotten hurt without the psychedelic, just the math of getting hurt. But anything that looks like alcohol, no, it's not. It's zero compared to alcohol. As far as its danger physically, man, I'm afraid I'll never come back. Guess what, honey? You're coming back. Everybody comes back. That whole bullshit thing, I'm never coming back. And I've been with 10,000 people and we all came back. 20,000 people, we all came back. 50,000 people in Golden Gate Park, we all came back. Guess what? You come back. And I haven't met anybody that didn't come back.